Hello friends, it's show time. Show is going on. I'm Victor Fursov. I'm research entomologist, beekeeper and teacher. I'm biologist who is studying insects. I'm studying parasitic wasps, small parasitic wasps which are used in biological control against agricultural crops. And usually I show them on my poster, but today I show you different insects on these two posters which are under protection of law in Ukraine, which are included in species and in the book of Red List, protected species, and which are under the conservation law. But today we will be talking about insects, and I would like to change a little bit format of my show video in the stream in this evening time. Today I will show you some insects in a city, and we'll discuss about insects in the city and show you the city, Kyiv. So because you can see on the cover picture of my video with different cathedrals in Kyiv, different cathedrals, churches, some beautiful monuments, some sculptures, beautiful monuments devoted to Hetmans, military leaders in Ukraine. And so today I will show you insects a little bit. We'll be talking more about monuments in Kyiv. So first of all, I would like to discuss which insects usually you can meet in a city. So sometimes people can meet even some flies in a city, but in some countries people are fighting against flies in a city, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not only possible in China, where people were fighting against sparrows. No, and they were fighting against flies as well, but in Turkish Republic, I have seen special machine who was just spraying repellents against flies. But in some cities, people do like to keep honeybees in a city. So it's called as a kind of a urban beekeeping. Urban beekeeping. Here you can see workers, bees, and even drone. Here in the center, this is sitting bee honeybee, and this is a drone, male of honeybees, and this is an entrance where just come in new foragers who are just bringing nectar and pollen inside beehive, because honeybees are social insects. They are living in a very special house. This nest for their colony must be protected by this society, this colony of insects. And beekeepers, who are just farmers, they use special boxes as beehives, providing special nests for honeybees. And even in some cities, in the big cities like New York and Washington, even in London, near parks, some people are keeping small farms with beehives for collecting honey. In Ukraine, some enthusiastic and you would say devoted beekeepers also have few beehives, even in city of Kyiv. It's a little bit not safe, I guess so, because sometimes they tend to swarm, and sometimes we can escape from the beehive, especially in May time and in June time. They're swarming, but swarming bees are not so dangerous, but still they're flying around. They're making a crowd, and it's quite irritating for people if honeybees making a swarm. It's people thinking that's very dangerous. Usually, most of the swarming wasps are not dangerous because they have collected honey from beehive, and when they are swarming, workers they are keeping inside them in their stomach just the stock of honey for transmoval for migration to another place, to new house, to new beehive, to new hidden place. That's why they are not so dangerous, because they're becoming very fat, very big, so with fully abdomen and the belly are full with honey, so they are not tended to sting you or just all people around, even in a city. But still people don't like crowds of bees, because bees are able to sting. But they are common in some places, even in Kyiv. There are several places where honeybees are kept as a beekeeping farm. Small beekeeping farm is presented in Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra, Christian Orthodox Cathedral. On Pechersk, Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra has a special beekeeping farm, and it's well developed, maybe 50 different beehives. There are some beehives in Vydubychi Monastery near National Botanical Garden on the bank of a river Dnieper. And even some, as I said, some devoted beekeepers keeping honeybees in the apiaries in hidden places, not talking about it officially. So I can show you now just the places in Kyiv, some cathedrals, some very famous landscapes, famous places in Kyiv. So here I was taking this video near Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra, near the monument to Ukrainian genocide. On the right side, this is a big like a building. This is a building. It's a bell, a central bell of a Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra, and small church on Berestov. Church on Berestov, and the biggest dome. This is biggest bell. On the right side, this is a museum of Ukrainian genocide, Holodomor. And this is another place very famous in the center of Kyiv. This is another bell, huge, big bell, which was built in 18th century, and the old, we can say ancient cathedral, Saint Sophia Cathedral, and now it is not acting as for religious purposes. Now it is museum, it's very special national museum. Very inside some very interesting frescoes, some pictures. Also, there are some pictures with animals, by the way. One of my colleagues published a special book about animals, birds, different living creatures were indicated on the walls of this cathedral, inside the cathedral. And this is a golden dome of a bell of Saint Sophia Cathedral, with wonderful pictures even on the top. With big magnification, I just was able to watch even some pictures of saint monarchs, which were indicated and they're just pictured on the top of this golden dome. This museum is open for public. There are some expositions inside, not inside the cathedral precisely, but inside some special separate buildings. And this place is the most famous in the Kyiv because this is central part, and it's called Maidan, or the Square of Independence in the center of Kyiv. And this is this street, just on the right from the central street is called Krishchatik Street in the downtown of the city. This is column with the lady on the top, Lady Mother of Ukraine. A small street which is coming from the right to the left. It was previously named Street Institutska, now the street of Celestial 100. And many people, and you see in the center there is special monument on the left corner of the screen. This special monument devoted to 3 kings who just considered to be founders of Kyiv. King Kyiv, in the name of the city Kyiv, Kyshek, Horiv, and Libit, the sister, the queen, who arrived as the Vikings, according to the historical tales as the Vikings from the north, from areas of Scandinavia, and who based the Kyiv on the Kyiv's hills. And here, this is also a very famous place in Kyiv, and so many people, because was taken picture during the day of independence of Ukraine on the 24th day of August. And this is not cathedral, this is church. It's called Saint Andrew Church. Saint Andrew Church. And Andrew Descent. The street from up to down, which is full with people, is called Andrew Andriivskiy, full of people. Also, people were dressed in national dress, national clothes, because it was day of celebration of independence of Ukraine. Here there are many painters, artists, which are presenting their drawings, different small sculptures, different souvenirs. Very famous place for tourists who are coming here to buy souvenirs. And also here two sculptures, sculpture of Taras Shevchenko and Yaroslav the Wise. This just copies of big monuments which are placed in other places. And so you see in the center, so some painters were presenting their pictures, and people are walking around just for interest. And this street is named Street of Celestial Hundreds. Here this place was famous in 2014 because here there was tragic events during the Maidan revolution in this 2014. It's written "Glory to Ukraine" on the building, "Glory to Ukraine," and "Heroes, glory to heroes of Ukraine," to heroes of Ukraine. On the left side, near the top, you can see the bell. It was before the bell of Saint Sophia Cathedral, and this is place, the Square of Independence, or Maidan of Independence. Maidan of Independence in Ukrainian language, and Square of Independence, just translation. Very active place, and Chrestiatic Street from left to the right. And here, this is interior of the cathedral, of a Ouspensky Cathedral, Ouspensky's Cathedral, which is located in the Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra. Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra on the hills, on the high right bank of the Kyiv, the Dnieper River. So this is nice interior. Once I visited here with some monks from the cathedral, so I was able to record some video inside the interior of this cathedral. This cathedral was restored about 10 or 12 years ago because it was demolished in the Second World War. Now it's restored. All pictures, all decoration was restored, and from time to time it's used also for religious purposes, for ceremonies. And here you see, this is a monument, the sculpture of a Hetman Bogdan Khmelnitskiy. This sculpture is located at the Saint Sophia Cathedral, near the Saint Sophia Cathedral and Saint Michael Cathedral. So Bogdan Khmelnitskiy, he was a hetman. To be precise, it means like a military leader of Ukraine, leader of rebels in Ukraine, Cossacks. Leader, we can call him also commander-in-chief. Probably we couldn't say him as a first president of militaries in Ukraine, who united all Cossacks all together, and he was fighting for independence of Ukraine as well. And this sculpture is located, as I said, at Saint Sophia Cathedral. And in front, on the left corner, there are small pictures, golden domes of Saint Michael Cathedral, which was also demolished just before Second World War in 30s years, and it was restored in 90s, approximately in 1997. So this place near Bogdan Khmelnitskiy, also quite famous from entomological point of view, because I promised you to tell you a little bit more about insects in the city. Here on the right side you can see here huge building which is Hyatt Hotel, very expensive Hyatt Hotel. In the left corner this is St. Mike Cathedral. So now, from time to time, some BBC programs are recording their video on the roof of a Hyatt hotel or just near the St. Michael Cathedral, close to Hyatt hotel. And this place, this square, St. Sophia Cathedral, why it's famous for entomology, from entomological point of view, because I had once very interesting tale here, because I visited this place in the summertime, I guess somewhere it was in June, and I've seen not swarming of honeybees, but it was swarming of ants, black orchard ants, which is named in Latin Lasius nigra swarming. I can write the name. Lasius niger swarming. Swarming was it? Oh, no, I'm typing in, not in. Lasius niger. This very tiny ant, but swarming. When ants are swarming, queens and drones are coming. Drones are smaller, but queens of ants bigger. And actually they're very far, they're twice or 4 times bigger and twice fatter. 4 times fat, more fat than workers of a Lasius niger, very small ants. So they're fat, and they're flying around, because when ants are swarming, they have wings. After they sit down on the ground, and on the ground they cut their wings with mandibles. It's wings. Each queen cuts her wings just herself, not with the help of other workers. So all this square was full of ants, full of swarming ants of Lasius niger, black orchard ant. So hundreds, probably thousands of ants were flying here around. I collected some of them. I just recorded short video because I was very surprised. I tried to understand where they were living. On the right side of the street there are some plantations of trees with soil. So I guess that they just hatched, they just emerged from the soil, from many nests, from hundreds of nests under the trees. And they were crawling around near these trees, just on the ground, on the road. And then I was walking from this place to Maidan of Independence, to Independence Square, on foot, just to look what's going on there. They were still swarming even nearby Maidan of Independence, but the swarm was smaller and much smaller. But here was a huge swarm. They were flying everywhere around. In air, I was standing just near the monument of Bogdan Khmelnitskiy. I recorded short video because it was quite surprising. But swarming ants were everywhere. They were just flying, males and females. So I had empty glass after the Coca-Cola. So I collected maybe 20-30 queens inside this plastic bag just for observations later, for recording some videos. So if you have seen some swarming activities of ants, write in comments. Have you seen it in your village, in your city, in your house, near your home, in your orchard? Because black orchard ant, which is named in Latin Lasius niger, is very common in orchards or just even in urban areas like in our city as well. So these are stories about Kyiv, about ants, about honeybees. In my previous streams I was talking also about hornets and wasps. So let's continue our meeting here on stream. Hopefully you can indicate in comments your experience, which kind of swarming activities you have observed. Have you seen honeybees swarming? Have you seen ants swarming, or have you seen big nests of hornets and wasps nearby? So, but be careful about wasps. Be careful. So they're stinging painfully. So be careful. So if you need to get rid of them, just ask only professional beekeepers or just wasp hunters who can help you in activities, how to avoid, how to get rid wasps in your area. Just call to officials for removal, wasps removing service. So it's existing even in our city, in different cities in Ukraine as well. So thank you for coming. Looking forward to see you soon on my channel. It will be continued. So I will show you more videos about Ukraine and more videos about insects. Thank you for coming. Good luck and see you soon on my channel. Bye bye. Thank you very much for coming. Looking forward to see you as subscriber and also visit my Patreon page for donations. And of course, don't forget about to press like and write your comments, ask questions, and here, wait a minute. Ask questions about insects, about Kyiv, about Ukraine, and don't forget, Ukraine is forever. Ukraine will win. Good luck and see you soon on my channel. Bye bye. Visit my Patreon page or PayPal for donations. For a cup of coffee, it will be a great pleasure for me to get your feedback, because PayPal drop or just some drop-ins in PayPal, some drop-ins in Patreon, some sponsors are very pleasant and really helpful. And this is a real feedback for my work here as commenters and video recorder, not just very audio recorder. So it needs some time, interest, and efforts. Thank you very much for coming. See you soon. Welcome to my Patreon page. Good luck.